Jack lived in a small seaside village. He loved listening to stories of pirates and treasures. He yearned for an adventure of his own.
Every day I would gaze out at the sea, dreaming of faraway lands. I wished to explore the world and uncover its mysteries.
One day, Jack found an old book in the attic. It was filled with tales of daring explorers. Jack devoured the book, his heart pounding with excitement. The stories fueled his desire for adventure.
I longed to have a story of my own to tell.
Each night, Jack dreamt of sailing ships in hidden islands. He dreamt of solving ancient riddles and discovering lost treasures. He knew in his heart that one day his dream would come true. He just had to be ready for it. One night, a furious storm lashed the village. The wind was relentless, tearing through the trees and shaking the very foundations of the houses. It was a night that no one in the village would forget. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, its eerie cries echoing through the night. It seemed as if the storm had a life of its own, a wild and untamed beast that had descended upon the village. Rain lashed against the windows, each drop a tiny hammer striking the glass. The sound was deafening, a constant roar that filled the air and drowned out all other noises. Jack lay in his bed, listening to the storm's roar. He had always loved storms, the raw power and energy they brought. But tonight, there was something different, something unsettling about this storm.
Suddenly, I heard a loud crash. It was so loud that it made me jump out of bed. My heart was pounding, and I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins. Curiosity got the better of me. I had to find out what had caused that noise. It sounded like something had broken or fallen, and I couldn't just lie there and ignore it.
Jack crept downstairs, careful not to make any noise. The house was dark, the only light coming from the occasional flash of lightning. He moved slowly, his senses on high alert. He followed the sound to his grandfather's old study. The room was filled with old books and antique furniture, a place that always seemed to hold secrets. A window had blown open, letting the storm's fury into the room. The wind whipped through the open window, scattering papers and knocking over objects. Rain was pouring in, soaking the wooden floor. Jack rushed to close the window, his mind racing with thoughts of what could have caused the crash. As Jack rushed to shut the window, something shiny caught his eye. It was a glint of light, a small reflection that stood out in the dim room.
It was a rolled-up parchment lying amidst a pile of books. I couldn't believe my eyes. What was this doing here? It looked ancient, like something out of a storybook. I picked it up and unrolled it. The parchment was old and fragile, the edges frayed and the ink faded. But as I unrolled it, I realized it was a map. My eyes widened in amazement. This wasn't just any map, it was a treasure map. The kind of thing you only read about in books or see in movies.
It was an old treasure map, the kind that adventurers and explorers would have used centuries ago. Jack's mind raced with possibilities. The map was worn and faded, but Jack could make out an island, a winding path, and markings that looked like ancient symbols. It was a puzzle waiting to be solved. His heart raced with excitement. This was the adventure he had always dreamed of, a chance to uncover hidden secrets and find lost treasures.
Could this be the adventure I was waiting for? I wondered, staring out into the storm. The possibilities were endless, and I knew that my life was about to change forever.
The next morning, Jack rushed to find Old Tom. Old Tom was a retired sailor. He lived in a small cottage by the docks. He had sailed the 7 seas and knew countless tales of the ocean. Everyone in the village considered Old Tom wise and respected his judgment.
I showed Old Tom the map and told him about how I found it.
Old Tom listened patiently, his weathered face creased with a knowing smile. He examined the map carefully, tracing the lines and symbols with his finger.
This here map is the real deal. It's seen some wear and tear, but the markings are clear. It's a treasure map, all right. But be warned, young Jack, the path to treasure is never easy. It's fraught with dangers and challenges.
Jack was determined to find the treasure. It wasn't just any treasure, it was a legendary hoard said to be hidden on a mysterious island, an island that many had sought but none had found. Jack had spent years researching old maps and ancient texts, piecing together clues that others had missed. This was his chance to make history. He knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed help. The journey would be perilous, filled with unknown dangers and challenges that no single person could overcome. Jack needed a team he could trust, people who would stand by him no matter what. He decided to ask his best friend Lily, who had always been there for him through thick and thin. Lily was not just a friend, she was a skilled navigator and a brave soul who had faced many storms at sea. And her loyal dog, Max, to join him. Max was more than a pet. He was a guardian, always alert and ready to protect his friends. His sharp senses had saved them more than once.
Jack, you know you can count on us. We've faced many challenges together and this will be no different. We're in this together, come what may. Max and I are with you all the way. We'll face whatever comes together, as a team.
Lily was known for her quick thinking and courage, qualities that had saved them on more than one occasion. Her ability to stay calm under pressure was invaluable, while Max, with his sharp senses and unwavering loyalty, was the perfect companion for their adventure. His keen instincts often alerted them to dangers before they even knew they were there.
The next morning, the trio gathered at the docks. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden glow over the water. The air was filled with a sense of anticipation and excitement. We packed supplies for our journey. Every item was carefully chosen to ensure they had everything they needed for the long voyage ahead. Food, water, ropes, and other essentials were meticulously organized. Each item had its place, ensuring that they could find what they needed quickly in an emergency. And a lantern were carefully stowed in our small boat. The lantern would be crucial for navigating at night and signaling for help if needed.
With a mix of excitement and trepidation, they set sail. The open sea lay before them, a vast expanse of possibilities and unknowns. The sea was calm, and a gentle breeze filled their sails. It was the perfect start to their journey, a sign that perhaps fortune was on their side. Jack, with the map spread out before him, charted their course. Every mark on the map represented a clue, a step closer to the treasure they sought. They were sailing towards the unknown, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The adventure had begun. The thrill of the unknown, the promise of discovery, and the bond of friendship would guide them through whatever lay ahead. After days at sea, they finally reached the island marked on the map. The journey had been long and arduous, with the crew battling fierce storms and navigating treacherous waters. But now, as the island came into view, a sense of relief washed over them. The island was a beacon of hope, promising adventure and the possibility of untold treasures. It was a lush green island, covered in dense jungle. The canopy was so thick that it seemed to swallow the sunlight, casting the forest floor in a perpetual twilight. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers, and the sounds of unseen creatures echoed all around. The map led them inland, deeper into the heart of the island. Each step took them further from the safety of the shore and deeper into the unknown. The path was narrow and winding, often disappearing altogether beneath the thick undergrowth. They had to hack their way through with machetes, their progress slow and laborious. The jungle was alive with strange noises and exotic creatures. Birds of every color flitted through the trees, their calls creating a symphony of sound. Monkeys chattered and swung from branch to branch while unseen animals rustled in the underbrush. It was a world teeming with life, both beautiful and dangerous. They crossed a rickety bridge over a deep ravine. The wood creaked and groaned under their weight, and the drop below was dizzying. One misstep could mean certain death, but they pressed on, driven by the promise of what lay ahead.
Look, Lily, over here! These symbols on the tree! They match the ones on the map! This could be the clue we've been searching for.
You're right, Jack. This is incredible. We must be on the right track. Each symbol represents a direction. If we can decipher them correctly, they will guide us through this labyrinth. We have to decipher them to find our way through this jungle maze. It's like a puzzle, each piece leading us closer to our goal.
They deciphered the symbols one by one, guiding them through the jungle maze. It was a painstaking process requiring patience and keen observation, but with each symbol they decoded, the path became clearer and their confidence grew. Finally, they reached a clearing dominated by a massive stone statue. The sight was awe-inspiring, a testament to the ancient civilization that once thrived here. It was a fearsome-looking warrior, its stony eyes seeming to follow their every move. The craftsmanship was exquisite, every detail meticulously carved. This was the guardian of the treasure, the final obstacle standing between them and the riches they sought. The air was thick with anticipation as they prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The guardian held a stone tablet in its hand. Carved into the tablet was a riddle.
Only those who understand the value of time can pass.
Jack, Lily, and Max pondered on the riddle.
Wait a minute. Look at these markings on the ground. They look like sundial markings.
You're right, Lily. The answer to the riddle must be to use the sundial.
They waited for the sun to reach its zenith. As the sun's rays fell directly upon a specific marking on the sundial, a loud grinding sound echoed through the clearing. A hidden doorway slowly creaked open at the base of the statue. The treasure chamber awaited. With bated breath, they entered the chamber. It was dimly lit with shafts of sunlight piercing through cracks in the ceiling. In the center of the chamber lay a chest, overflowing with gold coins, shimmering jewels, and precious artifacts.
We did it! We found the treasure!
They had faced dangers, solved riddles, and overcome their fears. But as they stood there gazing at the treasure, they realized something more important.
You know, Jack, the real treasure isn't the gold or the jewels. It's the adventure itself.
The thrill of the unknown, the challenges they overcame together, and the memories they made along the way were far more valuable than any material riches. They returned to the village, not laden with gold, but with hearts full of joy and stories of their incredible adventure. They told everyone about their journey, the challenges they faced, and the wisdom they gained.
Well done, Jack, Lily, and Max. You've discovered something far more valuable than treasure, the true meaning of adventure.
And so, Jack, the boy who yearned for adventure, found it. He learned that the greatest treasures are not found in chests, but in the experiences we gather and the friends we make along the way. And he knew, deep in his heart, that this adventure was just the beginning of many more to come.